Hey everyone, the new tax law has officially been signed by President Trump, and for many households, this is a big deal, especially when it comes to how you prepare and plan for your retirement. One of the things you need to plan for in retirement is tax efficiency. And by the way, that should be one of the biggest considerations when you're thinking about how you're going to create retirement income. Now, the new tax bill is 870 pages long and is stuffed with hundreds of changes to the tax law. I could spend all day reviewing what was signed into law, but instead, I want to focus on three tax provisions I believe open the door to some pretty powerful planning opportunities for anyone currently approaching retirement or already in retirement. But before we dive in, it's important to note that not all of the new tax law changes are set in stone and permanent. Some parts of the law are going to be permanent, but other parts, such as no tax on tips, which includes a $25,000 deduction for service workers, and no tax on overtime, which includes a $12,500 deduction for anyone earning overtime pay, will expire in 2028. Another temporary provision in the bill is the state and local tax deduction, also known as the SALT deduction, will expire in 2030 when it reverts from the $40,000 cap that it was increased to back down to the $10,000 cap. Now, all of these provisions are extremely important, especially the SALT deduction for many households in states such as New Jersey, New York, and California, where the taxes are extremely high. But I want to focus on three key provisions that I believe will really jumpstart and enhance your retirement and tax planning. So let's talk about the first tax law change that I believe creates the most broad-based planning opportunity for both pre-retirees and retirees. And that's the permanent exclusion of the 2017 tax rates. Just to give you some background, in 2017, President Trump, during his first term, signed into law the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. And what that did was it lowered federal tax rates across all income bases. It also doubled the standard deduction for many households, preventing them from having to itemize their deductions, simplifying their tax filing process. Unfortunately, in the bill, there was also a provision that stated at the end of 2025, the lower tax rates and the higher standard deduction were going to expire. Now, with the new bill, the one big beautiful bill that was signed into law, the lower tax rates and the higher standard deduction have now been made permanent. And until recently, most retirement planning assumed that the 2017 tax cuts were going to expire at the end of 2025, and that would have meant tax rates would have increased across the board for many people. Just to give you an example, the 12% tax bracket would have jumped to 15, the 22 to 24, and the 24 to 28, and so on, automatically increasing the tax burden for many households. Now, not only does the new tax bill permanently extend the 2017 tax cuts, but it also preserves the higher standard deduction, which we currently enjoy today, which is the second tax provision that provides significant retirement planning opportunities. At the end of 2025, that standard deduction would have decreased by half, and the personal exemptions would have come back. According to the Tax Foundation, higher tax rates coupled with the lower standard deduction would have increased taxes for about 62% of Americans. So the new tax law removes that uncertainty, and we now have permanently lower tax rates and a higher standard deduction. I do want to mention that in addition to the permanently extended standard deduction, Congress also boosted the amount of the deduction to $31,500 for a married couple in 2025 and $15,750 for a single individual in 2025. These amounts will be adjusted annually for inflation beginning in 2026. The third and final tax provision I want to cover is the enhanced senior deduction, also known as the senior bonus. The senior bonus is available to anyone 65 or older and is $6,000 per person, $12,000 for a married couple, and begins to phase out or is reduced once your income reaches $75,000 for individuals and $150,000 for married couples. This is an above-the-line deduction, meaning you not have to itemize your deductions on your tax return to take full advantage of the $6,000 senior bonus. So when you pile up all of the different layers of deductions available in the new tax law, higher standard deduction, the senior bonus, your tax-free zone increases. And your tax-free zone is the amount of income the IRS automatically excludes from taxation, resulting in a lower taxable income. For anyone over the age of 65, that tax-free zone is $46,700 when add in all of the deductions. And for a single person, it's $23,350. Before I move on, I would like to address some of the articles and misinformation regarding the senior bonus and Social Security benefits. I've seen on the internet some articles claiming that the senior bonus will completely eliminate taxes on your Social Security benefits. It's not entirely accurate. Remember, the senior bonus is the deduction that will help you lower your adjusted gross income and ultimately your taxable income. In order to determine how much of your Social Security benefits are taxable, the government uses a formula called the provisional income formula, which is your adjusted gross income plus any tax-free interest that you receive, such as municipal bond interest, plus half of your Social Security benefits. Utilizing the senior bonus to lower your adjusted gross income has the potential to reduce the amount of your Social Security benefits subject to tax, but it does not necessarily mean that you will no longer pay taxes on your Social Security, and the new tax bill does not change how the benefits are taxed. The government will continue using the provisional income formula, but all of these standard deductions and senior bonuses that are available will help lower that adjusted gross income and ultimately lower what you pay in taxes on your Social Security benefits. To wrap this up, I want to discuss two planning strategies that I believe have significant value moving forward, now that the new tax bill has been signed into law. The first is the Roth IRA conversion. For anyone not too familiar with the Roth IRA conversion, it is the process of moving funds from your pre-tax retirement accounts, think IRA and 401k, to the tax-free Roth IRA. You will pay taxes on the money when it moves, but you will pay the taxes at lower tax rates. And fortunately for us, those have been extended along with the higher standard deduction, so you can convert more to your Roth IRA while keeping your taxable income in a lower bracket. Now, Roth conversions will also help lower your future required minimum distributions, which could be a significant amount of money if your pre-tax retirement account balances are very large. The second strategy to take advantage of is coordinating your retirement income withdrawal strategy to take advantage of which accounts you are or will be withdrawing money from and how much to withdraw. The lower tax rates and higher standard deduction, as well as the senior bonus, open the door to the potential of increasing your income without having to increase your tax liability necessarily. Bottom line, the new tax law creates opportunities to enhance your retirement plan and also reduce your lifetime tax. If you are over the age of 65, the next 4 years are critical because the senior bonus expires after 2028. It's one of those provisions in the tax code that was not made permanent. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.